Okay. We are going to do what's called the Tree of Life. This is a really cool thing to do. This is a little bitty teeny tiny one. This is one that I did last year. I really like doing these because they're really, really versatile. You can change the beads. You can see that I obviously really like these beads. You can do them with tiny beads. You can do them with big beads. You can do them with however you want with them. The beads are your choice to do. So you're going to start with your ring. I'm going to pass that around so you can see it. You're going to start with your ring. And I actually really prefer using the black wire over the silver wire, but it is totally up to you, whichever one you want to use. Make sure that when you're using the wire, that you're using the wire that's on these paddles. This is floral wire. Floral wire is really cheap, and it's really good for sculptural things like this. This works really well hanging in a window, or just kind of something to look at. This really isn't something to wear, but there are a lot of artists out there that work in this exclusively on a much smaller level. I like starting you guys out with this big so that if you really like it, you know how to do it, and then you can work smaller. It's always easier to work bigger than smaller. Does anybody know why? More room. You can get more details into it. So I'm going to pass this one this way. And then I'm going to start pulling out how to do this. So I like the black wire. Again, you can use it however you want. So when I pull this out, I want to make sure that I'm pulling it fairly straight as I'm doing this. Otherwise, that wire is going to go wonky. What am I forgetting, guys?
Safety goggles.
Thank you.
Nelson.
So if I forget one time, I get a freebie.
I didn't start cutting yet. So you want 10 wires. Is everybody looking at me? This is really important. You want 10 wires that go this long wrapped around your chain, or wrapped around your ring, probably a little bit shorter than that. But you should have enough room that there's plenty of wrapping space on that. So you're going to need 10. Why do you need 10? Does anybody know? So looking at that, so Gracie, looking at that over there, if I have 10 wires to do this, that gives me 20 wires to work with. You can do more. You can do. I don't want you to do any less than that though, for a couple reasons. 10 and essentially 20 wires is a great way to start. If you want to add more, you certainly can. Let's see that really quick for just a second, Julie. You can actually fill these spaces more so with more wire, but you want to be able to either fill it or space it out more. So I can still kind of move these around a little bit. I could have done 15 and had 30 wires. Does that make sense? And that would have really filled it up. Just depends on what kind of thing that you're looking for. So I'm going to cut a bunch of these with my safety glasses on. I'm just going to cut 2 of them for right now, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So I'm going to fold them in half, and I'm sorry, Miss Maddie, you're kind of close to me, and so I'm going to fold them in half, and then I'm going to put them on the ring. And I'm going to wrap them. And I'm going to do that with every single one of them. And that gives me my roots. So you can see my roots here. They're all wrapped, they're all wrapped through here. And then they come up to wrap around each other and then open back up to become those branches. So I have 2 or 3 of these branches that, see this, Maddie? See how they kind of wrap around each other and then they open back up to become 3? They wrap around and become 3. And I really was apparently stuck on 3s and 2s. And this one's 4. So you kind of wrap them up to become different branches, and by doing that, it gives you the chance, because you know when your trees don't immediately go out like this, they kind of wrap up and go. You start with bigger and then get smaller. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, go ahead and pause that.